Welcome to our CRM implementation plan for Crave Beauty and Wellness Lab. My name is Garnet Ross, and today I am joined with
Linnea Hawkins,
Cassandra Lyons.
And today we're going to take you through our CRM implementation plan.
Today we will be looking at
some strategic objectives, a customer persona, defining what the customer experiences, taking a look at customer touch points, selecting a CRM solution that will fit Crave Beauty and Wellness needs, discussing the risks and barriers, and then discussing an implementation schedule.
So I'll now go over an introduction about our organization, Crave Beauty and Wellness Lab. So they are based in Spruce Grove, Alberta, which is about a 15 to 20 minute commute from Edmonton. They opened in 2019 and they specialize in a large range of aesthetic services. Their mission is to provide world-class beauty, health, and wellness services to their clients. They offer a large range of services. They offer face services, injectables, laser treatments, permanent cosmetics, and body services, and much more. They offer such a large range of services to personalize each customer's experience and fulfill their needs. So I'll now cover the strategic objectives set for Crave Beauty and Wellness Lab. We split our objectives up to target the customer experience, financial needs, and branding and marketing. So the first one for customer experience is to boost customer retention by 15% using CRM. This will increase the average lifetime of the customers, and we want to do that by December 2023. For the financial objectives, we have two of them. The first one is to generate more sales using CRM, to increase our overall revenue by 15% by December 2023. And then the second one is to decrease the customer acquisition cost by 10%, again using CRM software, for automation of tasks to become more profitable by December 2023. Finally, our branding and marketing objective is to create seamless branding on all their marketing channels, including their website, Instagram, and Facebook, using CRM to improve their brand equity by the end of the year, December 2023. I'll now pass it on to Bob Rush.
So for this project or our client, we have to select the target market, and we have selected and segregated our target market into 5 major segments, starting with demographic. So under demographic, most of the clients are female. Their age range is from 18 to 34, but the sub-range is 18 to 20, 20 to 24, 25 to 34. And if we talk about their race, it should be Caucasian, South Asians, Chinese, Black, and other races. If we talk about the birth era, it should be millennials, Gen Zs. And if we talk about the residential, it doesn't matter if they own or rent. And finally, under demographic, if we talk about their marital status, single, married, divorced, and widow would work for our target market section. Now let's talk about geographic coverage. Since our business is situated in Spruce Grove, so our geographic region should be in Spruce Grove, and the area or the residence should be condo living, apartment livings, and residential housing. Now let's talk about their socio-economic factor, which is their income. So their income, we have ranged their income under 4 things. Yes, that's less than 60,000, 60,000 to 900,000, and 100,000 and above. Their education should be university degree, high school diploma, and trade degrees or trade certifications, and their occupation should be full-time. So moving on to the next section of the target market, the rest of the other 2 segments in which we divided the target market are behavioral and psychographics. Now let's start talking about the psychographic parts, and then we'll come to behavioral. So psychographic. So according to this, we need certain certain psychographic contents for our target market, which includes they should be urban residents, they should have a business orientation, tech savvy, self-care devotees, and their hobbies should include active outdoor hobbies, team sports, physical challenges, camping. So these are some psychographics that we really want to cover with our target audience. Now let's talk about the behavioral sector. So under the behavioral sector, one of the first things that we noticed, and when we talked about with a client, that the awareness section, most of the target audience weren't aware about the business, and this is not good for a business. And as you can see in the previous slides, we talked about one of our financial goals is to increase sales, right? And how we increase sales? by getting the awareness section or the awareness of the customers. And that's the main behavior that we noticed, followed by 67, and there's this fact right here. 67% of the target demographic believes that their obligation is to provide feedback. That's really, really important in any kind of business, because feedback will tell you their post-buy behavior. Thank you. And now let's talk about marketing persona. So based on the target market and segmentation that we did in the earlier slides, we have created a customer persona and named them as Keeping Up with Kardashians. And under this persona, we have taken the client as Isabel. So Isabel is a female, age 31, status married, education is, she has a degree in trades, occupation, she works in oil and gas, and then location, Spruce Grove, and she's a living space that she lives in right now is a homeowner. So as you can see, we have covered all the aspects of target market segmentations under the profile. And let's talk about some pains and gains. For example, what are some main pain points for this customer persona? These are desire people to admire their belongingness and spend money actually lucrative than they can afford it. And the gains for them is to provide as a business is to provide a variety of anti-aging services. That's the major gain for them. And if we talk about their hobbies, as mentioned earlier, they love physical activities, going to steakhouses, fishing, and team sports. And their preferred channels is from friends and family to social media influencers, and of course the website. Let's talk about their trusted brands. So they trust trusted brands such as Snap Fitness, which is located again in Spruce Grove, Walmart, and Canadian Tires. Now let's talk about the customer experience portion in the next slide.
So now let's go over the customer experience of a beauty and wellness. Customer experience in a wellness and beauty salon. So the big things that we want to highlight in this customer experience is that the customer experience should be relatable. It should be personable with the technician that you're seeing at the current time. Much like you have a trusted barber or someone trusted that does your hair on a frequent basis, you would also want that personalized touch with someone who does your makeup and beauty products. So a big emphasis in the customer experience is going to be highlighting that personalized relations. Now, something that we really want to emphasize out of that customer relations is we want as many detailed notes as possible regarding each client, because we don't live in an ideal world. People are going to come in at different times of day, different times of week, and they're not always going to be able to see the same technician, which is why it is super important for a CRM solution is able to take detailed notes on each client and each preference that they have, so that future technicians that wouldn't have seen them originally can be up to date with what they want and what they prefer out of the salon. And now the last thing is expert advice. We want people that are up to date on current trends. We want people that are skillful in their craft right here. To provide the best customer experience possible is the first step in ensuring that they come back for more and more services going forward.
So step one of the customer touch point is them driving past the Spruce Grove location. This often will have feelings of interest and intrigue because they've never seen this place before, so why are they noticing it now? In general, it'll be the owner or the marketer responsible for this because they're the ones who designed the sign and picked the location for it. Step two, see a sponsored post on Instagram. There's some feelings of recognition and familiarity, a little bit of curiosity, and they think they remember the brand somewhere. The advertising team is responsible for this because they're the ones that created the content for the ad and pushed the ad out. Social media analytics are usually the main measure for this particular touchpoint. Touchpoint 3, the customer takes the initiative to check out Create Beauty Lab's website for themselves and the services they offer. There's a lot of overwhelmed feelings and uncertainty because there's so much information. They do offer a lot of services, so trying to learn how to navigate that. Things like website traffic and the path the customer took are going to be the measures there. Touchpoint 4, comparing different spas and their services available. Now that they're starting to get spas and wellness centers into their mind, they want to make sure that Crave Beauty Lab is the one for them because there are so many options out there. Again, there's a lot of overwhelming emotions, confusion, confusion, frustration. They are still new to the experience, so they aren't too sure what they're looking for. Again, website traffic and reviews are frequently the measure used, and it's all the website marketing team that is responsible for this. Touchpoint 5, booking an appointment by calling the salon. They're feeling sure. The customer's starting to get a little bit excited. They're thinking, wow, I'm going to enjoy this so much. And it's in the hands of usually the receptionist to make sure that this touch point goes well. Because if the receptionist says something wrong, the customer could immediately be like, nope, red flag. Touchpoint 6, actually enjoying the experience in the salon. They're relaxed, they're feeling revitalized, they're already starting to think, oh, I want to come back here. They are having the time of their life. Touchpoint 7, paying for the appointment at the receptionist desk. They're enjoying the experience. They're like, yeah, this is worth it. Their pockets might not agree with them, but they're enjoying the time. The receptionist, again, responsible, because this is where the receptionist should start instilling in their mind, hey, do you want to rebook with us right now? But because this is a new experience, the customer will hold off for now. Touchpoint 8, leaving a 5-star review on Google about their phenomenal experience. The customer has the immediate after benefits of the service they got. They're loving it. They are like telling all their friends this is the peak of the experience when they are actually experiencing the benefits. Touchpoint 9, looking at the website again, checking it out, different services. This is where they start to make their next appointment. The results from the service are starting to fade a little bit, but they know that it's a good place. There's the feelings of a little bit of lethargy, of I think I felt better after that last time, maybe I should go back. And yeah, I'm gonna hand it off to my colleague.
So the CRM solution that we have selected for our client is Salesforce. So you must be wondering, does Crave Beauty has a CRM solution? And the answer is yes, and that's Jane app. But it's very limited in features, and that's why we are suggesting them to use the Salesforce CRM solution, because it has a very important cloud that all the beauty clinics or health related clinics can use, and that's a Salesforce health-based cloud. And we're going to talk about the differences between Jane app and why we chose Salesforce Health Cloud app in the next slide over. These are some reasons in front of you that made us to choose Salesforce Health Cloud as the possible CRM solution for Crave Beauty. And let's talk about it in detail. So let's talk about customization. As we talked about it in our strategic planning and everything, that we need a Salesforce solution that helps us to customize everything. Jane app has a very limited options. It's not opted for Crave Beauty to use that, whereas Salesforce Health Cloud, it's a platform that gives you a complete customization option for you and your client. Now let's talk about sales and marketing function. So one of our objective is to increase sales. And how do we increase sales? Is by maintaining the customer relationship that we have. Jane app is a limited, it provides you with that opportunity, but the space is very limited. Whereas the Salesforce Health Cloud, it's a really good solution. It gives you that platform that you can capitalize and get the lead rotating and get your sales in, make more sales and get that objective done. Now let's talk about analytic capabilities. Again, Jane app has a very limited analytic capability, whereas Salesforce Health Cloud, it has a robust analytic capabilities that is very required for our clients. And then let's talk about the integration capabilities. Now, we know Salesforce is one of the best CRM solutions available right now in the world because it has so many features. Like for example, Salesforce cloud marketing, sales marketing cloud, and these are tools we can use with our health-based cloud and integrate into one big CRM solution for our client. And finally, let's talk about the security reasons. In Jane app, there's the security elements is very limited, and it's like not available actually. Whereas in Salesforce, there are securities, and especially if you use health regulations data, so you can trust Salesforce that it will not breach the information of your clients to the internet. Thank you.
So the first large organizational impact that we need to consider is the steep learning curve involved with implementing Salesforce Health Cloud. When it comes to steep learning curves, without enough higher up motivation and reasoning and logic behind it, it can be super easy to get halfway up and then get stuck, be not able to continue, and instead of pushing through, you run the risk of reverting back. Maybe not even switching to the old platform, but just giving up altogether. Second big risk and barrier is determining what information is important. Having a new operating system, I guess is the best way to put it, you can either get overwhelmed by all the possibilities, so you're gathering all the information because you're super excited, which later means you don't know how to navigate all this new information, what is even relevant, what will actually help you make a decision. On the flip side, you get overwhelmed and scared, and you don't collect enough data. You collect the bare bones out of fear, and then you go to make a decision, and it's, oh, I don't have any of the relevant information I need for this.
And then our final organizational impact that we talked about is resistance. When introducing CRM within the organization, it's only natural that the employees and everyone working there is going to display resistance to the change. But this can be managed internally. Crave can openly communicate and guide employees through every step of implementation. Resistance can be managed so no employees display a lot of it, and CRM can be implemented correctly and easily.
Now let's talk about that implementation, all right? So this is the implementation timeline that we have for our new CRM solution. So as we take a look at this chart right here, week 1 to 4 is we're gonna allocate that time for customization of the CRM software. There's no point in implementing a CRM software if it's not gonna be used usefully and what we need it for. So during this phase, we expect top-end managers to communicate with probably top-performing staff members to see exactly what they want out of this CRM solution and how it can best benefit them and their job so that we can lower resistance and learning curve as well. In weeks 5 to 6 is data migration. While JApp is a very limited CRM solution right now, it already has valuable client data that we can transfer over to our new CRM solution. And while that might take some time to clean up and then fully migrate to the new CRM solution, it's very important that it eventually does get done so we can retain the leads that Crave has already worked so very hard for. Now, let's take a look at week 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is testing and debugging the current CRM solution as it stands right now. We want to make sure that this thing, when it's in operation, it's going to go off without a hitch. There's not going to be any problems. There's not going to be any crashes, because when this is fully implemented, we want this business to operate with minimal, if not any resistance. And then finally, for the second last stage, we have employee training. This can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, but we allocated 4 weeks just to be safe. There needs to be time for employees to be trained on the new CRM solution. They need to know how to take a look at that client data, they know how to get access to it, and they need to know how to effectively use the CRM solution. Otherwise, what the hell is the point? Finally, the last step, week 13, the launch. We finally launch the CRM solution, and then we can start gaining new leads, providing better service to customers, and overall becoming a more profitable business and achieving those goals by the end of December 2023. And all right, guys, thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
If you have any questions, feel free to